How Cha Eun-Woo became global, from idol image to international influence. In an industry as competitive and fast-moving as Korean entertainment, global recognition is rarely accidental. It is built through timing, consistency, and the ability to resonate across cultures. Cha Eun-Woo's rise from a promising K-pop idol to a globally recognized figure is a case study in how modern stardom travels beyond borders, quietly, steadily, and with intention. The foundation, more than visual appeal. Cha Eun-Woo first entered public consciousness as a member of ASTRO, where his striking visuals quickly drew attention. Yet what sustained interest was not appearance alone, but balance. He combined academic discipline, emotional restraint, and professionalism, qualities that translated well beyond language barriers. International audiences often respond not to excess, but to clarity. Eun-Woo's image, clean, composed, and respectful, felt universally legible in a fragmented media landscape. K-drama as a global gateway. While K-pop built his foundation, it was television that expanded his reach. Drama such as My ID is Gangnam Beauty and True Beauty became global entry points, especially through streaming platforms that brought Korean storytelling to international homes. These roles positioned him as a familiar emotional archetype, the gentle observer, the steady presence, the man who listens more than he speaks. For global audiences new to Korean drama, Eun-Woo became an accessible face, someone who felt safe to follow into a new cultural space. Streaming platforms and algorithmic fame. Cha Eun-Woo's global rise coincided with the globalization of streaming. Algorithms amplified what audiences lingered on, and Eun-Woo's performances, often understated and emotionally contained, traveled well in short clips, edits, and fan-shared moments. His scenes circulated not because they were loud, but because they were relatable. A glance held too long, a pause before speaking, a quiet act of care. These required no subtitles. Emotional literacy became his most exportable skill. Fashion, branding, and cultural translation. Another critical factor in Eun-Woo's global visibility has been fashion and luxury branding. As a brand ambassador, he embodies a modern ideal, polished but not aggressive, elegant without arrogance. Luxury brands seeking cross-market appeal found in Eun-Woo a figure who could represent aspiration without alienation. His style choices reflect cultural neutrality, tailored, minimal, adaptable, making him recognizable and acceptable across Asia, Europe, and the Americas. Language of restraint in a noisy world. What sets Cha Eun-Woo apart globally is not charisma in the traditional sense, but restraint. In a digital era driven by oversharing, his controlled presence feels intentional. He reveals just enough to connect, never enough to exhaust interest. This approach invites projection. Audiences from different cultures see their own values reflected in him: kindness, diligence, emotional safety. By saying less, he becomes more universally readable. The power of consistency. Global fame often falters when reinvention becomes forced. Eun-Woo avoided this by growing slowly. He did not rush into controversy, nor did he chase validation. Each project built upon the last, reinforcing trust with audiences. Trust is the true currency of global recognition. Once established, it allows an artist to cross borders without explanation, becoming global without losing identity. Perhaps the most remarkable aspect of Cha Eun-Woo's global journey is what he did not lose. Despite international attention, he remains grounded in Korean storytelling traditions, emphasizing humility, emotional control, and respect for craft. Rather than reshaping himself for the world, he allowed the world to meet him as he is. A new model of global stardom. Cha Eun-Woo's ascent signals a shift in how global stars are made. Loudness is no longer required. Perfection is not the goal, reliability is. His success suggests that in a world saturated with content, audiences gravitate toward figures who feel stable, sincere, and emotionally intelligent. He did not conquer the global stage. He was quietly invited. Conclusion. Cha Eun-Woo became global not by spectacle, but by presence. Through disciplined choices, emotionally accessible performances, and a carefully protected sense of self, he built a form of fame that travels without friction. In doing so, he represents a new generation of global artists, those who understand that the strongest influence is often the calmest one.